average Rainbow Six gamers. Peek, 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 crouch, crouch, peek, peek, lean spam. It's an airsoft, ladies and gentlemen. Gun safety, very important on the channel, okay? So, yeah, just no violating the TOS. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen. You know, Rainbow Six is just one of those games that I absolutely love. And I've been playing this game for quite a long time. I would say that I was recording troll pastas and creepypastas, and I've definitely used Rainbow Six gameplay in some of those videos when I never really had a game to really put up. And Rainbow Six is just one of those things that, you know, it has a special place in my heart. When I was a kid and I watched some of my cousins play the original Rainbow Six games on the PC, I was like, whoa, this seems cool. They're getting into some gunfights. I played it for myself and I hated it when I was a kid. I was like, well, I gotta sit here and plan everything out. This doesn't make any sense. And of course, I claim to actually love it. It's one of the reasons why I enjoy games like SWAT 4, Ready or Not, because I just love that tactical, police-style gameplay. And of course, as I got older, games like Rainbow Six Vegas started getting out, and we loved playing games like that on the old Xbox Live. And of course, Rainbow Six Siege ends up showcasing. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, Rainbow Six Siege is a 5-on-5 competitive game. And basically, the idea of it is a tactical shooter where 5 people are attacking and 5 people are defending on various sites. The game has multiple operators, each with every single unique ability, alongside different firearms. They each bring something unique to the table. And it's these operators that have their abilities which synergize with each other and are utilized to attack and defend properly. One of the best things about Rainbow Six is even 10 years ago, one of the reasons why I have thousands of hours in this game, and I've been playing it for about a decade, is that every single match feels fresh and alive. Rainbow Six is one of the best live service games that you could ever actually have played. And I remember when this game first launched, I didn't even think it was going to survive 2 years of its lifespan. It dropped for $60. It wasn't that great at launch in terms of its technical performance and its matchmaking. It had issues. Now, Ubisoft, at the time, bunkered down and absolutely put together an amazing dream team of developers that kept this game functioning for apparently 10 years now. Now, I don't know if Ubisoft is going to be around in the next year or something with their current state, but I really hope that they do not screw up Rainbow Six Siege X, which recently did get some level of showcase. Like, it got streamed today. I even streamed it a little bit earlier, and that's why I'm putting together this video, because I really wanted to. I'm passionate about my Rainbow Six. I don't want this to be ruined. I've made friends on this. I have played it for years. I am absolutely in love with it. But to go back to Rainbow Six Siege's gameplay, for anybody that doesn't know, it's a 5-on-5 tactical game. We each got abilities. Each operator has something new to the table. And generally speaking, the reason why it excites me is every match, again, feels fresh and lively. Meaning that every time you play this game, every time you jump into a match, you'll come across some new strategy, some new tip that somebody has played with. Every ranked match is different. It's a game that instead of having grandiose large maps, you have a shit ton of destructibility everywhere. Roofs can open up. Walls can be breached into. People in the last 30 seconds of every round, all hell breaks loose. And that's the kind of pulse-pounding, heart-throbbing, dick-pumping action that I actually enjoy from this franchise. For instance, I main Montaigne, among some other operators. Montaigne is a shield operator that has a full shield, walks into sight, and becomes an intimidating force. Alongside my friends who join me into the actual action, I serve as a distraction. I can break my shield down and absolutely blow people's brains out. I become that guy who enters for the team as the ultimate support operator. And of course, there are other operators like Thermite, for instance, that breach into entire walls and basically change and open up new choke points. It is a lot to process when you first play the game. I think to understand how Rainbow Six works, I can just kind of walk you through the actual process of playing just one round in this game. So in this clip as a defender, I'm playing the operator Castle, who has a bulletproof barricade that they can put up around 4 points in the map. I've also got a shotgun that I can whip out, and with this shotgun, you can see me manipulating the entire site, opening up new choke points, new choke holes, and basically modifying this point so that me and my teammates can defend it the way that we want to defend it. And of course, I put up these bulletproof barricades so that somebody can't just punch their way in. They require a special ability or a breaching charge, effectively using it as a way to slow down the other operators and serve as some better overall defenses. So this is just one operator with one set of abilities. This game has multiple operators on attackers and defenders. So every single game that you really play will feel unique and fresh. In fact, every time Rainbow Six introduces a new character, it really changes the way the meta is handled. It's actually a bit of a celebration. One of the things that I liked about Rainbow Six and why I consider it to be the best live service shooter is year one. When I remember playing this, they would introduce new entire operations with their whole, like, it would be like fanfare. Like, you would have trailers, you would have 2 new operators, you would have a map updated into the game, and of course, Rainbow Six was adding these characters. And every time you add a character into Rainbow Six, it's kind of like adding a character into like a fighting game. There's a balance that's required. Some of these operators come with fresh, brand new abilities. Some of them come with the same abilities, but tweaked around so that you can use them in synergy, or it reduces the reliance of one character from being used way too much. All of these things end up with the team figuring out the best way to attack or defend. One of the best parts about this game is that it carries that spirit of Rainbow Six from the first game all the way into the modern era. You're actually planning how you infiltrate sites. You're actually dynamically modifying your shit on the fly, working with your teams. The comms be getting sweaty. The gunfights be getting sweaty. The plays be getting sweaty. This game has me sweating just thinking about playing it. It's that good of an entire game. And if you're somebody that's actually not even into shooters, I would still recommend Rainbow Six Siege. It is a thinking man's game. There is enough brain power required here where it's not just playing Call of Duty. It's not just about who's the best person with the gun. Sometimes all it can take is one great shield operator to ruin one attacking person's time. For instance, in this clip right here, I'm playing an operator called Clash on Defender. Clash has a electrifying shield. I switch off to a gun, kill one person, and now that it's a 1v1, I can whip out a shield and delay this person long enough so that they can't plant a bomb and win the round for their team. This is, of course, a level of serious gameplay. This is when it gets pulse-poundingly fun. People are on the edge of their seats, fucking ready and excited to see that win screen. And that's the level of action that I love. I love playing any character where I work together with my teammates, open up entire new pathways, and work with them into the most intense gunfights, into the most intense action anybody can imagine. That is why Rainbow Six Siege is fucking impressive. And that's why I personally think it's been alive for 10 years, and there hasn't been a game like it. Now, Rainbow Six Siege X got revealed, and the thing with Rainbow Six Siege X is there's a couple new features into the game, and I guess I kind of want to showcase what's been going on. So for instance, a couple hours ago, there was a stream where they showcased every single thing involved in here. And one of the big new things was a new game mode called Dual Front, which basically is a 6v6 mode. It's kind of taking away that attacker-defender thing that we had expected from Rainbow Six the whole time, and has us basically mixing those roles in between each other. So there's a lot of dynamic objectives like defending sites, gathering hostages, saving hostages that you're doing on the fly. And it's with all of these changes in the game, with all of these entire like mods, that they're introducing an entire new game type. Now, I've seen some of this being streamed, and I'll be honest, dog, I wasn't that impressed. Like, let me give you an idea of it, okay? This is cool, but the kind of streamers they brought on to showcase it weren't that impressive. And they weren't that impressive because, no disrespect to them, I feel like a lot of those people streaming the game were just not Siege players. And some of them weren't, and that's okay. They kind of played the game a lot like Call of Duty, so those destructible walls, that site manipulation that I was talking about earlier just didn't happen in this stream. And so it made the entire game kind of look like a Call of Duty clone, instead of that tactical, counter-heavy like game that we're basically knowing and loving for the last decade. So that was one key issue. But alongside all of it, there was supposed to be new environmental destruction into the game, which is obviously a key focal point of the game. There are new like traps that are pre-placed, like you get fire extinguishers that basically become giant smoke clouds, gas pipes that fucking destroy the enemy right there, as they walk near it. So you've got new pre-placed traps, you've got new destructibility. So in amongst all of it, you can now run and corner while you're rappelling, which is supposed to be super duper cool and interesting. Now I looked at the actual graphical changes for this, and this is where it's kind of a joke. So this is what the game looks like right now on a map known as Bank in the lobby. And this is what it looks like after. Now, I'll be real, it looks brighter. Some of the stuff looks shinier. But generally speaking, this is a pretty unimpressive graphical overhaul, and it's not something that I'm definitely going to be writing home about. This is what the game looks like before, okay, on a map known as Clubhouse. And of course, after, yeah, lighting is a little bit maybe grittier. Definitely the actual materials look a little bit more realistic in terms of how they reflect light and whatnot. But I don't think it's the craziest visual overhaul. There are so many moments where I'm looking at this and I don't know if this is the new graphics or the old graphics. Like, it's just not impressive, okay? It is what it is. But honestly, graphics were not the reason that I was super excited about this. One of the big changes they did, ladies and gentlemen, was of course the audio overhaul. Now, audio is such an important thing in a game like Rainbow Six Siege. Hearing somebody walk around you, above you, below you, outside, inside, it's that kind of attention to detail you need to make sure you know where somebody's about. In a game where one bullet to the head is all it takes for you to see Allah's domain, you literally need that sound to work properly. And the thing is, with Rainbow Six Siege, as long as they had that audio overhaul, that's literally the only update I think anybody needed. As long as they fixed one of the biggest complaints of like the last few years regarding Rainbow Six, that's really all I think anybody really cared about. I don't care so much about the new weapon inspect animation. Like, I'm not that much of a fucking like show off with my skins. It doesn't really matter. There's some cool like camos for people that have been playing the game since the first year, which I think is interesting and cool and based. But ultimately speaking, the game seems like it's just being modernized and updated for the next 10 years. I don't know if Siege is going to make it to the big 2-0, but this is genuinely a pretty interesting reveal that I saw. And as a gamer, as somebody playing Rainbow, the biggest question you might ask me, Muda, does it support Linux? Absolutely not. It does not do that. Now, looking at the new graphical overhaul, I even loaded up original Rainbow Six on my PlayStation 4 with the disc build, and it was kind of a vibe back then, dude. The game had a lot more destructible foliage environment. Like, it had a lot of interesting visual choices, but you can see how a game released back then with the original lighting where looking inside and outside is nearly impossible, that had to be changed so the game could be supported from a competitive stance. So honestly, the visual overhaul, there's only really so much anybody can do. But yeah, Rainbow Six Siege X, I think absolutely looks pretty goddamn amazing. And if I dare say, this might be the one W that Ubisoft may have on their hands, okay? And I really do think this company needs a W. I don't think they'll be around forever, but ultimately speaking, it's not bad. There is one more thing. They did make the game free to play, so just be ready for the hackers to come on in, but when has that ever been a problem for Siege, right? If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.